Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. The other day I said, Peter, boom boom, review stuff, because that's one of my other channels, and I said it wrong and everybody in the comment section was like, I thought this was your booktube channel. I didn't know this was your review channel. So anyway, I apologize for that. I made a little mistake. We all make mistakes. Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about mistakes that I made during Reading Rush. Well, I didn't get as much done on Reading Rush as I wanted to, okay? But I did have a really good time, and I actually listened to 2 books on Audible this week. That's really about almost all I did. I would sit down for minutes at a time. I was just I was busy. I was busy this week. And I found it really hard to just kind of sit down on the front porch and read and stuff like that. So I read 2 books, and I am just gonna do my reviews of these books on here now. I don't have to do reviews of them tomorrow or next day, okay? Because then what I'll do is do a whole video about that. So I'm just going to do my reviews of these right now, okay? So the first book that I read, well, let me just tell you that the third book that I actually started before it was over, which wasn't going to be on my TBR at all, but that I am reading The Last Town by Blake Crouch. It is the third book in the Pines trilogy, and Blake Crouch wrote Dark Matter, and he wrote Recursion. Those are his 2 newest books, and in that order. But he also wrote the Pine series. And the Pine series was made into a TV show called Wayward Pines with Matt Dillon. And it is actually really, really a good series. Like, I really enjoy it. And it's very scary, and I don't want to ruin it too much for anybody, but if you want a series to go through really quick, or a trilogy, it's very fast. It's only 3 books, and I'm listening to it on Audible, and the third book is like 6 hours and 56 minutes long. I started it on Sunday afternoon. I didn't really listen to much of it yesterday, and I'm already like more than halfway through it. So anyway, so that was the third book that I got really some started on during Reading Rush. The first book that I read was, or finished, was, what do you call it? What If It Says by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. I gave the book 5 stars. I thought that it was absolutely adorable. I thought it was fantastic. I was a little apprehensive about it, to be honest with you. This was the book that I read for a book that I meant to read last year. I bought it on Audible sometime last year, I don't know. I was really apprehensive to read this book because I had actually seen a lot of really mixed reviews about it. I've read everything by Adam Silvera, and I've read everything by Becky Albertalli, and really out of all of those books, the only one that I did not love was Leah on the Offbeat. No offense, Becky. I'm sure she's like, I have no idea who you are, so kick rocks. I don't care. But anyway, I was going to say something else. Do you see that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I didn't dislike Leah on the Offbeat. I just think that for me, like I don't know, the next book and the Simon kind of deal. Like, I love these books that they're doing where, I can't think of her, the Upside of Unrequited. Fantastic. Oh my God, I love that book, right? And wasn't Simon in that book somehow? Didn't he like call, or he was like, have like a cameo role and all that? So I love when they do all that. Like when authors have little, like, you know, characters from other books have cameos in that. But Leah was not one of my favorite characters of life anyway. And I didn't love her on a book of all by herself, and it felt very forced to me. That's all I'm going to say. Plus, I think that the idea of Leah as a character that was a musician could have been so much more well-developed. So anyway, I just was not impressed with that book. I think I gave it 3 stars. I did not like it at all. So I've read everything by them, and I really did not know what to expect going into it. And I really believe that it is, that one of them wrote one character and one of them wrote the other, but I don't know. They've probably done interviews and said the exact same thing. It's about 2 guys that meet. They're 17 years old. I think they're 17. Well, one of them turned 17 in the book. And they meet in New York City over the summer. One of them lives there. And the other one, Ben, lives there. And Arthur is there for the summer because his mother her law firm had to move to New York. He's from Georgia. And so he's there over the summer. And so he's doing an internship at his mother's law firm. His dad's there, unemployed, and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, he is going to the post office, or he goes to the post office because he sees Ben walking in with this box. And so he starts talking to him, and then they run into each other, but they don't get each other's names. And it's this back and forth through the whole thing, right? Like, they meet, they don't meet, they meet, they don't meet, trying to find each other. I was explaining it to my husband. I was like, it's really, like, they're trying to find each other through social media. Their friends are trying to help them. These two girls that are kind of hilarious to me, that he works in an internship for at the law firm, they're, like, trying to help him, and he goes, oh, it's like a modern-day Greece. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is totally a modern-day Greece. That is totally how it feels to me. In fact, I think they should probably use that if they haven't already. I think it's fantastic definition of what this book is about. It was very, very sweet. It was really well done. I thought it was really authentic. You know, I talked a lot about this in my vlog, like my daily vlog that I do on my Peter Vlogs channel. And I said that I really wish that books like this had existed when I was in high school and junior high, you know, to maybe not feel so all alone. And I've said that for a long time, and I know that there are other people that are my age and even younger that, you know, that resonates with them as well, because I didn't have these books, you know, and when I was in high school looking for LGBT literature, you know, it was right next to a section in a bookstore. It was like, you know, Walden Books or B. Dalton or whatever, or Borders, and it would be right next to the LGBT or gay erotica. And it was like, imagine what that feels like, you know, that you equate yourself with something that is hushed away in this corner. There weren't these fantastic books that had wonderfully, beautifully written characters that were normal like everybody else, that weren't hushed away to be quiet and, you know, closed off from the rest of the world. I wish these books had existed. I think that I would have believed in myself a little bit more. I would have had a little bit more strength. I wouldn't have felt so all alone. And I did. I felt incredibly alone when I was growing up. And I think just to have a book to read that somebody is going through something similar to me, or something that I want to go through, you know, I think would have been fantastic, because I didn't feel like I could talk to anybody. I graduated in 1990. It was a different world, you know. There were a few books, but not many, you know. I talked about it on my vlog one night. There was like this book called like Maurice that like I read, you know, and it was just like so old. I can't remember. It's written by somebody famous, but it just was horrible. But anyway, so I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Now, I will tell you, and I'm not going to ruin this. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, okay? I know Boo Radley. He's wanting to be up on this chair so bad. You want to come up here with me for a second and say hi to everybody? We're having rainstorms. Boo Radley does not like rainstorms. He said, I want to say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. I will just say this. I like happy endings in books, okay? I really do. I don't know why we always have to have such sad, realistic endings. I don't know. I mean, I understand the need to have realistic endings, you know, where people, it doesn't always end the way that we want it to end, and it doesn't have to be tragic, but it can be civil, and it can be not. I don't love that, okay? That's called the real world. Now, if you want to know what adulting is when you grow up and you have those non-fairy tale endings, okay? So if I'm reading a book, I want to read a little bit of a fairy tale ending. Boo Radley jumped into the ring light. Okay, I want a fairy tale ending, you know what I mean? But anyway, one of the things that I really hope is that Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera write a sequel to this book. I really, really hope they do. I hope they follow up with these lovable characters down the road, because I really, really did, you know, love reading about them. And I don't know, their parents were so great too. Becky Albertalli, let me just tell you, okay? She can write parents' dialogue like nobody's business. Like, she is so fantastic at writing parents' dialogue. She really, really is. So anyway, okay, there was that. And then I read Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen McManus. Ah! Oh my God, this book was so fantastic. Okay, so anyway, so many people told me that this book was not that good, that it was predictable, that it wasn't scary, blah, blah, blah. I thought this book was fantastic, okay? And it almost kind of like borderlines for me, more like new adult versus young adult. I don't know if they're, I would say the same thing too for What If This Is Us, or Who'd Care? Anyway, that book with Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli, What If It's Us, What If It's Us? But Karen McManus, my God, I loved One of Us Is Lying. Two Can Keep a Secret is so much better. It is even better than that, right? And so anyway, it's about these twins, of course. It's always twins. But they moved to this small town called Echo Ridge, Vermont. Why not? And from California. That's always the story. Okay, so like, let me just tell you, back in the day in these Lifetime movies that I used to watch always around Halloween time, this was actually the same story of this book that I read. And And it was about this girl, and she could read tarot cards. It was the girl, Sarah, I think her name's Sarah Chalk, and she played the second Becky on Roseanne. Do you remember? Okay. Anyway, and then her mom was the mom from, I don't know, that one TV show. It doesn't matter. It was horrible. But anyway, oh, the one with that girl, I can't, what's that, and Kirk Cameron. Do you remember? It was that mom, okay? But anyway, they moved from California because mom got a new job. Why wouldn't she? And if she's going to get a new job, why wouldn't she move to the smallest town in the entire world? Or something like that. It was something real weird, okay? So, she moves there, and it's called I'll Be Watching You. That's what it's called. It's fantastic. I actually have it on VHS tape in my basement. We could have a viewing party if you wanted to. So anyway, but she's real, wears dark, you know, black clothes. They always think she's all spooky and everything like that. And basically, they moved to Salem, Massachusetts, which is, you know, what Salem's famous for, where they burned the witches and all that stuff. And so all these kids think that they're like original founders of the city, and they think she's like a witch descendant or something like that. I loved it though so much. But all these books remind me of that, okay? So it's about these twins. No, that was the movie, not the book. Okay, so it's about these twins, and their names are Ellery and Ezra, which I love. Ezra, is that his name? Yeah, Ellery and Ezra, which I think are great names. And then they moved to this town to go with their grandma because their mother, who wanted to be a movie star, she is in drug rehab. I was in love with this book from the word go. I'm just going to tell you right now, okay? Because if I was going to write a book, that would be the book that I was going to write. So anyway, I already wrote a book about twins, but the rest of it I didn't write. So anyway, so they go there, and oh, okay, of course, okay, their aunt, their maternal aunt, who they never met because she died long before they met her, was killed and went missing on homecoming night, the night that their mom won homecoming, okay? So they come home, and then all this really spooky stuff starts happening around homecoming. It is so good, you guys. I told my friend on the phone, she goes, what's it like? I said, well, it's kind of like, I said this on my vlog too. I said, it's kind of like Riverdale mixed with Pretty Little Liars and a true crime novel. It really is, okay? And let me just tell you, for all those people out there that said it's predictable, I kind of had some ideas about stuff, but then you'd think like, oh, this is going to happen, or this is what it's going to be about. And then at the last minute, you'd be like, oh, they would like explain it away, right? The last sentence, I'm telling you, it is Karen McManus. She is a writer, okay? I love her. I cannot wait. Her sequel to One of Us is Lying is coming out, I think, in January 2020. I was so impressed with this book. The last line of this book, the last line, okay? I rewound it. I was like, did she just say that? Because that was what I was thinking, but did she just say that? So anyway, I was so impressed with this book. I loved it so much, okay? People are talking about this Devouring Gray and all this kind of stuff. That was okay. This book, this is the book right here. I didn't think it was predictable at all. I thought it was scary. I thought it was so well done. There's police investigations in it. Oh, this Ellery girl, Ellery Queen, do you remember like that magazine back in the day, that true crime novel? She's so into true crime, and so, of course, you know, I have a true crime book club, Peter's Book Club listed below. So I was like real into that. She's trying to figure out the whole mystery. So it kind of reminded me a little bit of Truly Devious, but not as funny. And you know I love Truly Devious series, but not as funny as that. It was more serious. It was really, really, really well done. I was super impressed with it. And, you know, like, I think Karen McManus does a really nice job of character development, story development, and all of that kind of stuff. I'm just super impressed with her as an author, and I can't wait for her next book to come out. So, those were the two books that I read for Reading Rush. Woo! I said that fast. Anyway, and yeah, and those are my two reviews for Reading Rush. Good thing that I didn't have 5 books to review, right? But anyway, or I would just do 5 book reviews. But I had a really good time this week. I was really excited. I actually got asked to do a reading sprint. I have to tell you, okay? And I know I probably shouldn't say this, but I opened up my DMs. So I go back and forth between my Peter Likes Books and my Peter Monn account on Twitter. And I just happened to go over to my Peter Likes Books account, and I hadn't been over there in like 3 days. And I got a DM from Ariel Bissett. I literally about fainted a million faints. I was like, is Ariel Bissett up in my DMs asking me to do a Twitter sprint for the Reading Rush? I was like, are you kidding me? I literally was like, I said to my husband, I said, you are never going to guess what happened. He goes, what? And I said, I know you don't know who she is, but Ariel Bissett just sent me a DM, and he was like, who is that? I was like, oh my God, she was one of the very first booktubers I ever watched my entire life. So anyway, I was so excited by that. So Ariel, if you by any chance see this or whatever, thank you for asking me. I couldn't do it because it was on Sunday and it coincided at the same time that my damn book club had our live stream. But we had our live stream yesterday and it was fun. So maybe next year I'll get to do a Twitter sprint for the Reading Rush or something like that. But it was really a great time. So anyway, I had a good time on Reading Rush. Did you have a good time? Put in the comment section below how well you did. Oh, I got a lot of people started doing Reading Rush, okay? Because I talked about it on my vlog and a lot of people did it this year for the first time. And they all read, I had like 2 people that read 7 books, okay? This was their first time doing it, so bravo to you. But listen, okay, listen, it doesn't matter how much you read, okay? It really just doesn't. We all know that's crap. I'm pissed I didn't read 7 books. So anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.